AI minds, quantum leaps. Cut the noise, dive deep. Truth unlocked, Dr. Mike on the mic. Tech Unfiltered is on the clock. Now it's time for the show.
All right. So everybody keeps asking me the same question, and I mean everybody, students, colleagues, a guy at the gym who saw me looking way too good on the treadmill. Should I run AI on my own computer, or should I just use the cloud stuff? And I'm going to give you the answer right up front because that's how I operate. Bottom line first, then the why. The answer for most people is both. Run the small private stuff locally, send the hard stuff to the cloud, and know exactly what you're trading in each direction. That's the punchline. Now let me earn it. So let's start with the question hiding underneath the question, because when people say, should I run AI locally? What they're really asking is, what happens to my stuff when I type it into one of these chat boxes, right? That's the real fear. And frankly, it's a fair fear because private is doing a lot of heavy lifting in this industry. Here's the deal. When you type a prompt into a cloud AI, that text leaves your machine, goes over the internet to somebody else's data center, gets processed on somebody else's hardware, and the response comes back. Same with that PDF you uploaded. Same with your chat history. It all lives, at least for some period of time, on servers you do not own, in a building you will never see, run by people you will never meet. Make sense? Now, that is not automatically bad. That's also how your email works. That's how your bank works. That's how basically the entire internet works. But with AI, there are a couple of extra wrinkles. Wrinkle number one, training. Some services, especially the free consumer tiers, may use your conversations to improve their models. And the policies on this vary by company, they vary by product tier, and they change over time. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you exactly what company X does this week. What I will tell you is that the paid business and enterprise tiers almost always come with stronger promises. Typically, your data is not used for training, shorter retention, contracts, the whole rigmarole. The free tier, read the settings. There is very often a toggle, an actual checkbox that controls whether your chats can be used for training. Most people have never looked at it. You should look at it. It takes 30 seconds. Go on, I'll wait. No, I won't. This is recorded. Wrinkle number two, retention. Even when your data isn't used for training, it usually sticks around for a while. For debugging, for abuse monitoring, sometimes there's human review of flagged conversations, so on and so forth. So when a company says private, you have to ask, private from WHO? Private from other users? Sure, almost always. Private from the company itself? Depends. Private from a subpoena? Well, that's a fun conversation for a different podcast. The point is, where private is not one thing. It's like when a restaurant says fresh. Fresh from the farm or fresh from the freezer, both are technically words. Okay, so that's the anxiety. Now let's talk about the local option, because this is where people get starry-eyed. Running a model on your own hardware. And look, the case for it is genuinely strong. Number one, privacy. Nothing leaves your machine, your prompts, your documents, your weird 3 a.m. question, they stay home. Number two, it works offline. Plane, cabin, apocalypse, whatever. Number three, predictable costs. You buy the hardware once, and then every single prompt after that is basically free. No meter running. And here's an underrated one, version stability. The cloud model you love today can get updated tomorrow and suddenly it writes differently, refuses differently, acts like a whole new employee showed up wearing your old employee's badge. A local model never changes unless you change it. It's frozen in time, like me physically, and you knew there was a but coming. Local has real costs, and I don't just mean money. First, hardware. These models are hungry. The main constraint is memory, specifically how much fast memory your machine has for holding the model. A small model, a few billion parameters, runs fine on a decent laptop. The big impressive ones, you're talking serious hardware, real money, And even then, you're often running compressed versions of the model. Quantized, they call it, which is a fancy way of saying we squeezed it down and it got a little dumber in the process. Not a lot dumber. A little dumber, like me after Thanksgiving. Second, quality. And I'm going to be blunt here because that's the service I provide. The open models you can run at home have gotten shockingly good. Genuinely, the gap has closed a ton. But the absolute best models, the frontier stuff, still lives in the cloud. If you're doing hard reasoning, complicated code, long documents, the top cloud models are still the varsity team. A local model on a laptop is a very good JV squad. Sometimes JV is all you need. Summarizing an email is not the Olympics. Third, and nobody tells you this part. When you run locally, congratulations, you're the IT department now. You're downloading models, managing updates, figuring out why it's slow, checking licenses. Because yes, open models come with licenses, and some of them have actual restrictions on commercial use. So read the thing before you build a business on it. It's operational burden. It's not hard, but it's not nothing. And frankly, some people discover they do not want a second job. Now flip it. The cloud case. You get the smartest models on earth instantly on any device with zero setup. You get elastic scale. If you suddenly need 1,000 times more capacity, you just use it. You get the fancy tools, the search integrations, the file handling, all the bells and whistles. That's real value. The downsides, the meter is always running and those subscription and per use costs add up. It's a racket, spend more money. Your data is on someone else's computer, which we covered. The model can change underneath you, and there's vendor dependence. If you build your whole workflow on one provider and they raise prices or deprecate your model or have an outage on the day of your big demo, you're just standing there, holding your demo, looking foolish. Allegedly, this has happened to people. Allegedly. So how do you actually decide? Here's my framework, 3 questions, because I list things in 3s. It's a whole personality trait. Question 1, how sensitive is the data? Medical records, legal stuff, client information, your diary, trade secrets. Strong argument for local or at minimum a paid tier with real contractual promises, not the free tier. Question 2, how hard is the task? Frontier hard problems want cloud, routine stuff, rewriting, summarizing, drafting. A local model handles that all day. Question 3, how often are you doing it? Occasional use, cloud subscription is fine. Massive constant volume, at some point owning the hardware starts to pencil out. Do the math for your own situation. And the answer that falls out for most people, most businesses, is hybrid. Route the sensitive or routine stuff to a local model, escalate the hard or scale heavy stuff to the cloud, and be deliberate about what crosses the line. Companies do exactly this. It's not indecision, it's engineering. In my view, it's actually the only grown-up answer because all local and all cloud are both purity tests, and purity tests are for people who don't ship things. Before I let you go, 3 practical takeaways. Rapid fire. 1, go find the training toggle in whatever AI you use and set it the way you want today. 2, don't paste secrets into consumer chat tools, passwords, keys, client data. Just don't. It's free to not do that. 3, if you're curious about local, try it. The tooling now is genuinely easy. You can have a small model running on a regular laptop in an afternoon, and there is something deeply satisfying about pulling the Wi-Fi cable and watching it still talk to you. It's like a pet that does your homework. Bottom line is, local buys you control, privacy, and predictability. Cloud buys you brains, convenience, and scale. Both is a strategy, not a compromise. Make some sense? Good. That's the show. Go check your settings, hug your GPU, and stop typing your social security number into chatbots. I know one of you is doing it. Questions, comments, concerns, bribes. You know where to find me. I'll see everybody on Tuesday.